Well, we'll give it a shot, and if it's not perfect, then we'll just call it Wabi Sabi.
There you go.
Alright. Welcome to Silly Guy Club. It's a podcast for silly guys by silly guys. Thank you all for joining me today. We're filming in a fresh new location, because the last time I was filming, my daughter, she walked in completely naked. So I figured you should stop doing that in my house. But I'm very happy to have Nick McQuik here today. I feel like he's kind of like the father of the Edmonton comedy scene.
Yes, cold and distant. Judging.
Yeah, a little fucked up.
Yes, very fucked up. Wink, wink. Winking with an eye patch is weird.
Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, I'm very happy to have you here today. How are you feeling today? I know you've been working nonstop.
I don't know, work usually pays. I just go to open mics. I've been trying really hard to be funny. I don't know, I've been doing this new thing where like I show up and I don't like smoke a bunch of weed before I get on stage. I don't really think it slows me down too much, but it makes me less performative.
Okay.
Yeah. Also doing steroids and like working out constantly is just great.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
You don't feel like you're too tired, not running on fumes yet?
I'm always I gotta sleep 3 hours. I barely get any sleep. I'm always tired. I just know that like that's my new default.
Damn, that is a tough place to be. Like, I appreciate you coming here today.
Hey, no problem. Lots of people got tougher situations than me. I don't get to sleep much, but I get to sleep in.
Yeah, fair enough.
Exactly. So when did you start comedy?
I started comedy January 26, 2024. Yeah, it's just been a bit over a year. I really love it a lot.
I love you know the birthday. You know like exactly. Some people don't.
I checked my Instagram story when I wanted to know. Posted about it.
Oh.
But yeah, I like it. I kind of like, I feel like I commune with my mom a bit when I do comedy, because she was a big, I don't know, she liked to laugh.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, I feel like our moms are kind of similar in a way. Or like, mine smoked meth and yours sold crack.
Yeah. She did heroin. But like recreation.
Yeah, fair enough. I guess heroin and meth are kind of similar. Maybe.
Yeah, it's like reverse and drive are similar.
Yeah.
My mom's a tough old lady now. Geez, she has no backbone in her. She's like a senior citizen that's picking fist fights.
Hell yeah. Is she a big laugher?
Oh yeah. We always I grew up, we listened to George Carlin all the time. I've been listening to him recently and it makes me feel like a really shitty comic. He's just so well read, so well written, so well spoken. You can tell he's like practiced. His cadence is perfect and like what he's talking about feels important and funny. I just talk about dicks and buttholes. I'm a mall clown.
I feel that. I love being a clown, but yeah, it is hard to look at the greats sometimes.
Oh, I don't know, it's good to be humble, but I lack a value. I like self-worth, I guess, be the proper thing. The whole drive here at Wyatt is like, you're a headliner. I'm driving to an open mic to do, I have things that I could be doing that are much, I could be figuring out how to market my shows on Facebook, or coming up with pro or designing posters, but instead of going to an open mic, I don't feel like a headliner.
Hell yeah. Well, I don't even know what it means to feel like a headliner. Probably just means to act like an asshole sometimes, right?
I don't know what it feels to be like a headliner either. Oh.
How about, does your mom like your comedy? Has she seen anything that you've performed?
No, she does not like my comedy. My mom went through a weird period where she was, I don't know how to describe this, a woke, like, criminal. And yeah, we had very conflicting views on what should be said and what shouldn't be said. And it's weird to have to remind other adults that I'm in charge of my mouth. And that I get to blow air out of it and like control the shape of it so that it makes different sounds. And it's ludicrous that they think that they should be in charge of that.
Yeah, get heckled by your mom, she'll threaten to wash your mouth out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, last 2 fist fights we had didn't go her way, so I'd recommend, no heckling. Especially now that I'm on the gear.
Fair enough. McQuik punched his mom, confirmed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the last time was a DDT. She like tried to spear me, but I caught her and just boom, right on her head.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
It's like you take a bull out.
Just a little drunk?
Oh yeah. Wildly so.
Hell yeah. Sounds like a good time.
Yeah. Fucking to this day lives life to its fullest.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, jealous. Moms are cool. I like being a mom.
What do you-
like,
What do you think's an important thing to like instill in kids?
I think self-confidence is for sure up there.
Yeah.
I try to raise confident kids, but I don't know. I think I might be raising assholes instead.
Uh-oh.
But I suppose time will tell. I want them to feel, confident in their own ideas and, and what they want to do, for sure.
I go to a lot of group therapy that may or may not be court mandated, but the one thing they talk about with confidence is that it comes from building mastery, which has to come from experimenting and willing to fail on your own terms.
Oh yeah, I for sure let my kids fail all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I let them run wild a little bit. I definitely feel like my monkeys are running the circus a lot of days, but they're always making art and playing games, and it is cool to see them create.
I think kids grow up and like no matter what like a parent's vision of it is, it's always different for the kid. You can't really control it. You just try and keep them alive, make sure they got all their fingers and make sure they don't go hungry and like try not to screw them up too much. Because like, I don't know, I grew up very poor and like there's other people I know that grew up really rich and they still have problems.
Oh
Which
yeah.
is very different than mine. And it's like, I'm sure that growing up with your parents around all the time is very different. Like, I learned to really appreciate, like, my freedom, my alone time. Like, just being able to be alone with my thoughts and write. Like, I love that.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's probably because I was raised, so. Downside of, like, growing up without electricity or running water. But, really got to fucking know who I am.
Yeah. And I do think my kids have an advantage that I do let them have that room to explore. But there is a lot of fear with the world, what it might be turning into.
Oh, it's terrifying. Like, but it's also like, I wish my brain wasn't all electrocuted. But there was a quote about like people are easier to control if they're afraid. Like all the social media, all the news, all that fucking rub terrible, horrible shit that's happening. I hope at least that they're playing it all up as worse than it actually is, just to keep people scared, to like keep more money going into evil people's pockets. And like, I don't know, I try and do good out there. I see a lot of good in people.
Yeah, that makes sense. And yeah, even just to like keep people engaged on the algorithms, keep them scared. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so I think that like the world's a scary place, but I still see so much good out there.
Oh yeah, for sure. Just gotta try and keep them offline, maybe.
Yeah. Oh boy, I am so happy I grew up without any of that.
Yeah.
When did you get your first cell phone?
I got a Nokia phone, like one of those BlackBerry rip-offs, when I was in, I want to say 10th grade. I got one pretty late because we were poor too. But it was
That's
nice.
good though. That's good.
Yeah.
Later is better.
Yeah.
I got a phone when I was an adult. Like a grown person with a job and stuff. Like I'm never in school. I didn't have to know what anybody else was doing. I just went home and then like worried about things. I had no idea what anyone else was doing. There's none of that comparison, none of that. It was so much easier. You just fought your bullies at school and then went home and lived your life.
Yeah, honestly, that does sound peaceful.
Yeah.
I didn't have a phone growing up, but in junior high school we did get a computer.
Oh.
And, spent too much time on live journals, starting drama with my friends, just for no reason.
It's at that age, like you're really cooking as a human. Like you're at that weird bacon temperature where all the hormones are just firing and like you're just maniacs. Like the stuff I did growing up is insane. I'm sure you got some stories to tell too.
Yeah, I was mostly the one that got fucked with.
Oh.
I remember I'd get hacked a lot.
Yeah.
And my best friend, she'd hack my Facebook and make posts about how I'm a fat dyke.
Oh.
Which is...
Doesn't sound like a very good friend.
Yeah.
I think you could come up with a different term for that sort of person.
Yeah, she wasn't a very good friend, but she also used to have like a secret Tumblr where she'd post about like being a Nazi a lot. So,
Damn.
you know, one of those people where just, kind of have a dark side.
Everybody's got a dark side. I don't trust anybody with a dark side. I'm a deeply flawed man with anger problems.
Yeah, you keep it on the surface.
I'm proud of it. I wear it on my face.
Hell yeah, I respect that.
Yeah.
I don't like people that keep themselves too hidden. I try to be on the surface as well, but I'm very quiet, so I do worry I come across as secretive.
It's okay, it's the quiet ones you gotta watch out for.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah. I'm just not very, I get a little lost in the middle of my sentences sometimes. I'm not a good speaker, so I try not to interrupt people.
You just start your journey without knowing where the finish line is?
Yeah, unless it's like a joke where I have it kind of rehearsed down and then I'm very confident with it.
Mm-hmm.
But talking off the cuff, it certainly feels very terrifying. But it's fun to challenge myself.
There's like an old trick for like kind of coming up with like crowd work structure where you can go, sorry my throat's going on me here, I don't know, it wasn't that long of a set when I was headlining, I was just a pussy. Sorry, you'd ask a question like, what do you do for a living? And they would say, like, electrician. And you'd be like, okay. And if you didn't have a joke for it, you'd go home and write that joke. And it could be broad, like, oh, just a joke that'll work for all blue-collar jobs or all white-collar jobs. Or there's always a disproportionate amount of teachers. Or like, I keep on encountering this one thing. Like me just keeping like a journal of my shows, listening back and like transcribing what I said, just really makes me see the value of the words and trim out the filler words. And it really helps with those moments, gives you that confidence to just be in the moments because you can ask a question and like, yeah, you might not be bullseye perfect if they're an electrician. You can try a couple of things and then you have your blue collar joke that'll cover it. Sort of gives you that parachute.
Yeah, I definitely haven't tried a lot of crowd work, but I would like to get to that point where I'm challenging myself, especially if I'm hosting a show.
That's huge. Yeah.
How do you, if you're not hosting, if you're just doing a regular set, how do you decide when it's the right time to just dive right into the crowd?
Usually what I'll do is I will, in optimal circumstances where I'm not outside smoking weed the whole show, I'll pay attention and I'll see when somebody goes for something and they leave some meat on the bone. Because like, so many times comedians will like tell a couple jokes and they'll almost break the audience, and if they had one more they could do it. So if like the host asks, are you guys celebrating anything? And there's a birthday party or like a bachelorette party or like, I don't know, just something that somebody won a thing, like they'll talk to them a little bit, and like the host's job like is usually just like to make them feel welcome, make them feel happy, not make them feel threatened, just keep the energy up so they're all happy. And like in that moment, what they talk about, I just start writing jokes in that direction.
Oh, okay, that's really smart. That makes sense.
Yeah, especially if you're headlining, pay attention to the show, because it is horrible if like the host goes up and it's like, is anybody celebrating anything? And they all clap, and then the headliner goes up and is like, hey, is anybody celebrating anything? Because it shows them you aren't paying attention. Why should we? It's the same like if we're on stage right now and somebody's telling jokes and I pull out my phone and start looking at it, we're reminding the audience, hey, there's a whole other world to look at. It's not worth their attention. Mm-hmm. So like when I'm on stage, I'm almost performatively like listening.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. That's a good way to be.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Sorry, I'm pretty high too, so I'm all over the place.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, is there anything you like, any shows you want to talk about coming up? I know you have a cool game show.
Yeah, never have I ever. I like it. I'm proud of it. It's cool. I've tricked comedians into writing and making them do their fucking homework. Yeah, we bring on a bunch of comics. They write a bunch of stories about a topic. We do a couple rounds of it, and then they get points. Me and my co-host have to guess, and if they fool us, then they get points. And then at the end of it, they read a story that's either me or my co-host or completely fabricated by like our moderator, and they can wager their points, and the winner gets some cash. And it like makes them write these stories. We get to know each other. There's like normally I name names, but I'm not going to right now, so figure it out. You have to watch the show. Marketing. I've seen people like sit on the couch beside each other that I don't think knew each other very well, and by the end of it, they were like friends. So.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And when's the next show happening?
4/20. It will be happening April 20th at 4:30 p.m. right after we burn a whole big pile of weed, and then we test to see if I'm good at this job or not.
Hell yeah, that's an awesome day. That's a big day for here at the Moon.
Oh yeah, I think that they've got an all-day thing. They've got like the painting and getting high. I wish I could shout out everybody. The old brain don't work quite how it did. But then we've got the pot burning. I think that they usually do, like last couple of years, they've done like weed rolling contests. We've got the Never Have I Ever show. I think there's going to be a stand-up show at the end. Yeah, it's a blast.
Hell yeah. Oh my god. Can't wait.
Were you here last year?
I was here, yeah, I remember they had a trash can, I think, going with the weed burning.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was intense, yeah.
It was like a hay bale fire.
Hell yeah. How long have you been coming here to the Moon? I've just been coming for, I think, over a year and a bit.
They opened up during the pandemic, and I started smoking weed during the pandemic. And yeah, I think they'd only been open for 3 months, maybe. And I came by, and I walked in the front door, and I came in to do comedy, and then I just talked to the owner, Dave, for fucking 45 minutes and was like, wow, I made a new friend.
Hell yeah. How about comedy in Edmonton? How long have you been doing that?
My first ever open mic was July 16th, 2009.
Oh, damn. And then was that...
God, I should have lied. That's fucking sad.
I don't think there's anything sad about that. Edmonton is, it's not an easy city to start from. I don't think we have, I think we just have like 3 success stories, right?
SCTV. I mean, nowadays, anybody can pull out a cell phone, like you can do comedy anywhere. Like, we're very lucky to have the infrastructure that we do. We owe a lot of that to like Rick Bronson's comic strip, bringing in some incredible people. Like Yuck Yuck's always supporting local talents, even the Grindstone, like, yeah, just there's so many creative spaces that support the artists, and yeah.
Yeah, I really wish I knew sooner. Like, I always loved stand-up, but it really takes you by surprise just how much Edmonton has a scene going.
Yeah. Oh, it's, yeah, there's quite a few people who can, like, make a living doing comedy. Maybe I should try. Make a living. I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard thinking about money. It scares me.
Oh, it takes the sugar out of the fucking dessert when it becomes business.
Oh yeah, I guess if ever trying to sell art is, yeah, it can get a little demoralizing at times. You make something you think people will buy.
Well, that's the weird thing, is like you could go and paint, and then like to sell paintings, it's like there's not an infrastructure, but to write jokes, there's a comedy club. Like there is sort of an infrastructure and kind of like loose outlines of rules. So, and then there's a lot of great people that have done it before us that we can kind of look at and learn lessons from.
That is true.
Yeah.
I am so thankful for the place I am in, and I just feel so fulfilled when I get to perform on stage.
It's important to be grateful. It's very psychologically healthy.
Hell yeah.
Oh.
Anything else you'd like to plug?
Oh. I love my dog. I love my wife.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Does your wife come and watch your comedy very often?
Oh. No, not very often. She does come out every so often. Way back in 2018, I think. I went to New York to perform, and she came. Like when I go somewhere fancy, she likes to come. But when I'm like, hey, I'm doing 15 minutes of comedy in Red Deer for a drink ticket, she's like, pass. So
yeah, I respect that.
yeah, she doesn't really come to the moon. She's a very much a lightweight for cannabis and very reactive to smoke. So
yeah, not the most fun place to be if you're like that, I imagine.
yeah, but every so often, like I'll be doing a weekend at like the comic strip or Yuck Yucks, and she'll come on in.
Hell yeah, that's awesome. How did you enjoy performing in New York?
It made me appreciate Edmonton so much. I got there and I did a couple shows where you have to pay $5 to perform 5 minutes.
Mm.
And then there's other ones where like you sign up and when was it? I think 4 p.m. I was signing up, and it was like a 2 a.m. spot. And so there's a couple of like comics down there. Goddamn electricity took so many names out of my head. Frederick Goldstein, I think, was one, but like that vouched for me and got me on some really fucking incredible shows. But their open mic scene is just crabs in the bucket. It is a nightmare.
That sounds, shit. I'm so thankful to be here.
Yeah, it seems like there are some places that are impossible to start comedy. Paying to do comedy, that's insane.
Yeah.
Artists raping artists.
Yeah, glad we don't have many of those here.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I think we're all seeming pretty sleepy. I'm gonna edit in some reading as well. I'm gonna be reading Monster Cocks Part 2. So I think
You could reach out and see if the audiobook companies are hiring.
ooh.
Yeah, they probably got some scripts out there.
Yeah, get a couple bucks.
I mean, why not? You got the experience.
Hell yeah. I'm not even asking the author's permission for doing this. So might be a good idea.
Consensual audiobook.
Yeah, why not?
Okay, well, where can the people find you on social media?
Well, I got my Silly Guy Club podcast on Silly Guy Club on YouTube, and I am Nest the Mess Comedy on Instagram. And how about yourself, Nick McQuik? Do you want the people to be able to find you?
I'm at Charles Haycock on Instagram and at Sterling Scott on Twitter.
Hell yeah. Got the check mark. Alright, thank you guys so much. Take care. Always remember, you are kind, you are smart, you are passionate, and you have a great heart. Right?
And you're looking pretty good. Hey, no problem.
Monster Cocks Part 2 by Mykle Hansen. From rampaging fuckers of everything on the crazy shitting planet of the vomit atmosphere. Monday, August 11th, 06/23/40, PDT 2008. Update. That so never happened. Absolutely did not happen. Bad dream. I don't know what happened Friday night, but it wasn't that. Something, though, something happened. While I slept all weekend long, something crawled into Retired Hardware 5 and killed and ate some other thing. Raccoons? Maybe. Gore on the floor, slime on the ceiling, bloody tracks leading all over the place. Jesus. Well, it was dark when I left. Maybe it's not so bad in the light. Maybe. One of the many advantages of living in Retired Hardware 5 is not needing to clean. But now, well, this just means that it's even more urgent that Angela get together, that I tell her how I feel, that I show her what I've got to offer, that she sees the clear logic and beauty of choosing me over that stone-headed dickweed in the black Camaro, and that we eventually find a nice apartment together. Only I crept across campus at dawn and made it here to the showers without being seen, to wash away the gore and scum and whatever. But now I am faced with a large, new, unexpected sexual problem. Large as in vast, containing multitudes. It never occurred to me before that there might be certain hardships in the glamorous porn star life of Rod Girder. Issues of tailoring, for instance. Difficulty bending over. A lightheadedness when a limited supply of blood rushes downward away from the brain. Discomfort in chairs. And I don't know if Rod Girder has this particular problem, but it just won't sit still. It won't stop jumping around, writhing like a snake. It's agitated. Sit, Lassie, heel. Lassie won't sit or heel. Lassie won't stop thrashing around. He has 3 angry eyes, and he's as big as my forearm. It takes 2 hands to pin him down. Absolutely no more monsterizer for you. No more. None. This is enough. This is plenty monster. Beyond satisfying, Lassie. I love you. but you've got to start watching your weight. I'm sure that once we lay off the device for a few days, you will quit freaking out and start getting with the program. We have an important mission, lassie. You mustn't act like this around Angela. It's a cable management problem, really. I always carry a few spare Velcro straps and some zip ties to keep unruly cables from tripping me up. The Trouble Center runs a tight ship, lassie. I'm sorry, but you're being very bad, and I need to get to work. I don't have time for this. I'll make it up to you, I promise. Please, lassie, quit struggling. It's Monday, so I have clean clothes. Underwear, though, is just not happening. Rod Girder never wears underwear either. I can get used to that. Parachute pants will have to do, and a black company tee with the ISC logo on the reverse, and on the obverse of our corporate motto, just do it, and a struggling, squirming penis strapped tightly, painfully to my right leg. This can't be right. I mean, it's great. I dreamed of this. I need this. I love my lassie. I need to talk to Goldenrod 13, Small Paul, Mosquito Boy, any of them, the elder cocksmiths, those farther along the path than I. Cocksmiths.com, I need you. Monday, August 11th, 13:23:40 PDT, 2008. Good Christ. Today, the Trouble Center snorkels in the following biblical flood of trouble. The East Coast and much of the Midwest now enjoy what the president refuses to call martial law, as power stations continue to explode and everything even remotely attached to the internet goes absolutely batshit. TV is dark, cell phones are dark, rumors are rampant. One internet simulcasting radio station situated right on top of a hydroelectric dam on a river in upstate New York is managing to calm everybody down over there by reporting as fact the comforting rumor that an organized gang of serial killers is raping and stabbing and smashing its way from Newport to Miami. The Army and the National Guard and even the INS are busy securing the interstates and shooting people by accident and generally whipping up the panic level, setting checkpoints from Minnesota to Texas and marching slowly eastward to figure out what the fuck, if anything the fuck is happening. IMAO information junkies nationwide, sick without their fix, are going through some bad cold turkey, clearly, and seeing shit that isn't real. People on the East Coast do not know how to relax. It's utterly stupid. Here in the Trouble Center, we are urgently but methodically cauterizing the stumps of our network, backing up our most crucial ones and zeros, and groping through the mudslide of spam for solid servers that respond to pings. Amazingly, a few legit packets still flow across the network and back. Sysadmins worldwide are falling back to UUCP BBSs and pinging in Morse code. Geriatric FidoNet users, all four of them, wag their fingers at the internet and I assume exchange smug notes about how right they were all along. Mid-upper management has given up on spring sportswear shipments, projections, tracking, accounting, given up on accomplishing any actual things at all, and wants only information. Unsuccessful probing suggests our German competition is equally bogged down in equally thick data quicksand, and upper management finds this somehow comforting. Shenzhou, when online, insists everything is fine and under control with such vehemence that we assume they are smoking opium, We caught them doing that before. Phil Tong thinks it's a virus. Phil Tong barges into Trouble Center with a crazed look in his eye and insists it's a virus. A virus, it's gotta be a virus. Demands to know if we morons have even considered the possibility that it might be a virus, and if not, why not? The Chad Squad, ever vigilant, jumps on Greg Lotz and restrains him before Greg can jump on Phil Tong and strangle him by his coffee-stained tie. Phil Tong warns us not to touch him and lurches away limping. Users think everything is a virus. Yes, sure, that's a part of it. Self-replicating spam bots are part of the spamscape. Have been for years. But they've never had this kind of traction. Somebody fucked up somewhere. Some major door was left unlocked, left wide open, and in flowed the slime. Somewhere in Estonia, pimply pre-teen Uber hackers are giggling and high-fiving each other. Won't somebody please shoot them? Meanwhile, Chat D and Chat W are fucking heroes. The same stress that is driving Phil Tong to a nervous breakdown only makes these guys work harder. Think clearer and do more. No complaints, no freakouts. They just keep hacking through the tickets like Spartans on a battlefield. Outside this office, a shitstorm of mad trouble is sweeping west, but the troubles of IT are rational and we fix them, ticket by ticket. This trouble keeps us sane. Our firewall is under constant attack on all channels. All known weaknesses of its OS and the OS of its masquerades are probed on all protocols. IP4, IP6, ATM, BGP, forgeries, timing attack, brute force, token storms, SNMP probes. The male demon is hammered senseless by wave upon crashing pungent wave of spam, which leaves it stammering. EHLO, quit, EHLO. The bulkheads are holding, the patches are watertight. The ship will not sink, and if I lash myself to the mast, I can send out signals on the open sea. Monday, August 11th, 23:23:40, PDT 2008. It's very late. I'm in my corner cube taking a break, sending out an SOS to 8.231.11.22. Ping. Knock knock. Hello? I knocked 100 times on their front door. 3 pings come back. Their website is down, their mail gateway is down, but cocksmiths.com is not dead yet. I telenet to the quick chat port as I rummage through my memory for the format of this fairly stupid yet mysteriously popular chat dialect. Slow as molasses, my packets march across the battlefield, arriving truncated and misaligned. Slow as glaciers, the reply advances back across the carnage. The remote Q chat daemon asks, 001, yes? 200 user goldenrod 13, Q chat rec. It's too big. 301, bummer, user not available. 200 user small Paul, Q chat rec. Everything's going major nuts. 301, bummer, user not available. 200 user mosquito boy, Q chat rec. Where's everybody? 302, harsh, request denied. 200 user mosquito boy, Q chat rec. Hello? Help me. It's getting bigger and it's getting inside my mind. How do I stop? Did this happen to you? 302, harsh, request denied. 200 user mosquito boy, Q chat rec. MB. Is it inside your mind too? 666 bogus. Chat terminated. Hey, Jack. Chat D pokes his round head into my square workshop with worry face on. He looks like caffeine death, all pale and twitchy, and his meager supply of hair sticking out sideways. I can't imagine how I must look, but that's how the world looks today. Jack, there's some dudes here. Chad indicates behind him with his thumb where stands a tall gray-haired man in baggy black clothes, looking at me like I'm some kind of bug. A notepad sticks out of the lapel pocket of his jacket. Behind him stands two cops, a bald one and a young one. And behind the two cops stand Greg Lott's, mouth opening and closing, but no words coming out, and 3 campus security guards, dumb and zealous, ready to assist with any insecurity that the 2 cops and a police detective can't handle. Hi, Mr. Stalker. Can I call you Jack? I nod. He smiles like a used car salesman and speaks to me slowly, clearly, just in case I am retarded. Thank you. My name's Malcolm Dean. I'm a police detective. He extends a cautious handshake request. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I know everybody's up to their necks in problems today. Friday. He raises an eyebrow. Friday? Friday was my neck. Today's deeper. Is it? He glances at the bald cop, a short, squinty fellow who looks at me, smirks, and issues a single muffled guffaw as if to say, even my relatively small cop penis is larger than this jerk-off's penis. If only he knew. Jack, says the detective, looking at me like I'm lunch and he's starving. We need to talk about Friday. Monday, August 11th, 23:45:01 PDT 2008. We talk in the Footwear History Library. Famous shoes and digitally antiqued photographs of the track and field stars who wore them to fame shingle the walls. Shoved up against famous footwear are commandeered desks and tables covered with hacked together spare servers in crooked piles, some booted, some crashed, some with their guts spilling out their sides. A precarious tower of cannibalized workstation parts totters in one corner. The temperature is 81.5 degrees Fahrenheit. The whine of hard disks and cooling fans sounds like a swarm of killer bees. Color-coded data cables dangle from the ceiling, plugging into this and that. The detective and I sit facing an ergonomic task chairs. The cops stand. The detective hands me a photograph. You know this guy? The guy in the photo looks like your basic mullet-headed surf Nazi. Dates a friend of yours? Drives a black Camaro? I think I've seen him, yeah, once or twice. Thrown a beer at him ever? Once? Well, that's it. Once is all you get. Nobody gets to throw anything at Rock Short anymore. The detective snatches the photograph away. What do you mean? Is he dead? Oh, yes. Really, dead. The detective places quotes around the word with his fingers. Dead is a nice way to put it. Murdered is more correct, but still too nice. Brutally strangled and bludgeoned to death is actually leaving out the really nasty part of what happened to Rock Short on Friday. He leans close to me, leering at me with a consumed, fascinated expression, like I'm his pornography, like I'm turning him on. My head pounds. I feel dizzy. Lassie nudges me, taps on my knee. Shut up, Lassie. Wow, I reply. Wow, that's really awful. Did you catch the guy? The detective leaps up out of his chair and kicks it against the wall. Jack, listen, I have a theory that you are really smart, okay? Maybe even smarter than me, so don't ask me stupid questions. You're connected, aren't you? in that room of yours. You've still got internet. You know what's going on as well as anybody. It's the RFEs. RFEs? My mind launches a desperate bubble sort of its 3-letter acronym cachet as Lassie starts to twitch and twist. RFEs? I've read lots of RFCs. Used to play an RME, corresponded with EFR. I'm overexposed to RF. I look at the two officers, and even they, behind their stoic cop facades, betray a hint of what the fuck regarding RFEs. The requests for enhancement, I weakly suggest, my right foot tapping on the floor. Detective Dean glares meaningfully at his two cops and they leave the room, shutting and locking it behind them. The RFEs. The rampaging fuckers of everything, you know. With all the facts hanging in the stale hot air of this room that I'd like it not to know, I am really actually excited and happy to truly, utterly not know anything at all about this one. RFEs? Sorry, please tell me. RFEs? You're an internet guy. It's an internet thing. That's how they organize. They're trading pictures in their chat rooms and one-upping each other, rampaging and fucking, raping and killing. Do you have any idea how many people have been rampaged and fucked in this country in the last week? Men and women and children and pets? Any idea? Venture a guess? I've heard some stuff, but rumors. I've seen some stuff. Photos. Yeah, because I am homicide. Because I hate murder and love peace and justice. I am the lucky fucker who gets to look at and analyze and organize and file that particular sickening, sick cabinet of photos. They thought it was one guy and they thought it was a gang of guys. But no, it's bigger. It's a trend. And I'm the cop. I'm the one who has to... For a moment, I think he's going to hit me or cry or throw up. He pulls his hair and squeezes his face. But then, robot-like, he switches it all off. Sorry, Jack. Rough couple of days. But hey, don't just take my word for it. Want to see some photos, Jack? Lassie, heel. He smiles, leering. What is it, Jack? Can't sit still? Excited? You like the photos, right? How about DVDs, Jack? You like porno, don't you? Come on, everybody likes porno. Snuff films? The hard stuff? No. Excuse me, detective, but you're grossing me out. Detective Dean throws his head back and laughs. While at what might be the least erotic moment of my entire life, Lassie strains against his 7 plastic leashes. Bad. Lassie, down, boy. Smiling Detective Dean. Hey, okay, fine. Forget about all that. Forget that. What about, what do they call them? Plastic toys of superheroes and stuff. Little rubber guys who fight and smash each other. Collectible figurines? Figurines, right. You collect them, don't you? What's that got to do with anything? Yes. Lassie, stop. That feels good, but stop. Where do you keep them? At home? Stop. Oh yeah? Where's home, Jack? Where do you live? 'Cause your boss doesn't know, and nobody around here knows, and I sure don't know. But if I ask you where you were on Friday night and you say home, then I'm like, I want to know. Oh, are you going somewhere? No, my foot's asleep. Sit. Detective Dean takes several steps back as I start stamping my foot on the floor. Oh, it twitches, it itches, it burns. Lassie. No, I'll stand. You sit. Oh boy. Listen, please, detective, I haven't done anything, and I don't want to talk to you. Right now it's a really shitty time, and I think you'd better leave. No, I'll stay, and you'll tell me whose blood we found on your beanbag. I flop down in the chair and hear the muffled pop of zip ties snapping near my knee. Blood roars in my ears. I'm getting lightheaded, staring at the ceiling. Oh no. Please, detective, please shut up. And then, after the blood issue and the issue of your beef with Rock Short, we'll talk about the RFEs. Because I really think a computer guy, an internet guy like you, is who I need to talk to about that. Oh no. Another zip tie pops. I lean back in my chair, closing my eyes. The feeling, the pain, the pressure is exquisite. Yellow dots squirm at the edge of my vision. The whine of disk drives and overworked air conditioning drills in my ears while Lassie, oh Lassie, you scoundrel Lassie. The detective looms over me sneering. I am pale and weak and tingly all over. But then, Jack, what I really want to know is, who else? I know you didn't do it alone. That I cannot picture. Those 2 badges in the hall can't picture it either. And they've seen all kinds of guys kill all kinds of guys. But you, against Rock Short? You against anybody? I don't think so. Pop, pop. Oh, fuck. Oh, no. Oh, Lassie, please don't do that. Please don't make me want you to do that. How did you do it? He demands. Who helped you? What did you use? Then he hears the snapping sound, looks down, inspects my twitching pant leg and the angry hostage struggling beneath. His eyes quiver with curiosity. What you packing there, Jack? Staring right into my eyes, he reaches a slow hand towards the top pocket on the right thigh of my parachute pants. But despite all this, despite the terrible truths in this room, despite the proximity of the sweat-stinking detective's hands, electrical massages of pure happiness and romantic affection and wholesome copulation began to gather in my fingers and toes, the back of my neck, the tip of my tongue, tickling my nipples and my anus, my knees, my hips, my spine. Rushing, throbbing, pounding, pushing through me, jerking me around, and Detective Dean freezes, stares with utter stupid confusion mixed with revulsion and a hint of concern at the shape of my pocket when Tuesday, August 12th, 000 PDT 2008. Like a whip, like a bear trap, like a cobra striking, large, long, thick, and terrifying Lassie the monster cock bursts through my pant leg with a noisy slash, seizes Detective Dean by the neck and throttles him with stiff, white, turgid clenches of pleasure. But Lassie, wait, no, slow down, Lassie. This is wrong. I'm not into this, please. Let's try something else. I try to pull him off, but I can't even reach around him with both hands now. Oh, Jesus, Lassie, you're bigger than the both of us. The detective scuffles weakly at the floor with his threadless cop shoes. He claws desperately at your veiny flesh around his neck. Lassie, as you hoist him higher, you push and you squeeze, and with your remaining length, you smack and smash and batter the fat purple hammer of your head against his red, puffed-up face, stabbing and bludgeoning over and over, demanding entrance to his ears, his nose, his eyes. Lassie, stop. I am not comfortable with this. I don't like it, Lassie. We fall to the floor in a tangle of desperate limbs, struggling in a puddle of blood and teeth. I jam my feet against the detective's chest and head and pull with all the strength in my legs as my testes start to quiver. Don't make me do this, Lassie. Don't make me feel like this while you're doing that. A single muffled gurgle of defiance escapes the detective's throat. He pounds uselessly with his fists. I want to call for help, but I'm hyperventilating, quaking, out of breath. Cable management. I reach my pocket and find one extra long zip tie, a size I always carry but never seem to need. I wrap it around the root, the base, the interlink, and I pull it tight with both of my weak hands. And you better believe it hurts. Bad lassie. Bad penis. Not allowed. Down. Straight to bed you go. I am cinching the strap, yanking upward as the wire-reinforced plastic zip tie digs deeper into our flesh. The pain jabs through us like a rusty razor. You whip around to see. Your 3 little white eyes are full of dumb animal murder. With your remaining length you swat at me, but you can't quite reach all the way from my crotch to his neck, around that twice all the way back to my face. Not yet, not quite. So you wrap yourself once more around the policeman's head. You're mad, lassie. You're just furious. Oh yes, you are thrashing, squeezing, raging, hissing, and spitting. I've got the tip of the zip tie between my teeth. I'm pulling with all my back and shoulders as I'm pushing with all my legs as you are throbbing, clenching, tightening as Detective Dean struggles weakly. I feel like I'm ripping out my own insides and I think we're going to come. Detective Dean shudders out a last gagging puff of air as Lassie dives deep down the dead policeman's throat, cramming deeper as the wave begins to crest, and I begin to scream the pain, the flesh, the body, and the blood. The blood, with a ripping, a snapping, and a wet, fetal pop. Lassie drops our connection, unplugs, slips her leash. A massive weight and leverage falls away from me. A deep ache replaces it, and I'm alone. Lassie slinks under a corner table with his meal, trailing the tip of the vessel we once shared. I observe him keenly, watching him feed. He regurgitates a steaming pink venom, pumping it into the dead man's head and down his throat, then crawling deeper, squeezing earthworm-like down the bulging neck, exploring the entrails, sniffing and tasting, exiting from his ass or some self-torn opening a few minutes later, and finally peeping, slick with gore and shit from a pant leg. A small silver tongue or proboscis flits in and out of Lassie's tiny mouth, licking the blood away from 3 little eyes that stare at me innocently, questioningly. Oh, Lassie, you bad penis, how could you? Lassie cowers in the dead policeman's pant leg, shy, afraid, ashamed. Lassie, you can't kill policemen, and you can't eat people. You're for sex, Lassie, for human pleasure. Lassie slithers out of the pant leg, head hung low, whimpering like a pup. Lassie is sorry. Look, I know you were trying to protect me. Probably, right? Lassie sits up, staring at me, blood on his chin, his ragged tail wagging, and those eyes, my penis, my big little Lassie. Lassie, you killed Rock too, didn't you? The surf Nazi. Lassie bobs up and down, proud, excited, happy. Oh, Lassie, what will I do with you? That really excellent and pressing question. What to do exactly with my 7-foot-long, bloodthirsty petaconda cock monster, who just ripped free of my crotch and ate the policeman, who thinks I murdered the abusive boyfriend of Angela Fine. And another, perhaps even more pressing question. How do I explain this all to Angela Fine and make her understand that I did it all for her, for love, and how beautiful that is, and that the evil, morally repugnant part I didn't even do myself? Not exactly, because I am so good. But at least now she is free, safe, Rock can't crush her anymore, and that I love her more than love itself, and will take care of her forever and make her happy in every way that doesn't specifically require me having a penis anymore. These two questions overwrite each other back and forth on the file system of my head, consuming me, hanging me, crashing me. Because I am desperate to feel less weird, I grab a roll of duct tape from the parts pile and tape shut the crotch of my shredded parachute pants. As I do so, I glimpse the empty socket, the disconnected port of flesh, the land where proud, mighty genital once roamed. Oh God. And then I see nothing at all, because power finally fails. The deafening whir of tiny high-speed spinning things that spin down slowly to silence, and a phantom ringing in my ears. Then the failure has finally reached us. On the other side of the footwear history library door, I hear an approaching scuttle of footsteps, and then an urgent pounding at the door and a jingling of keys. Above me, I hear a rattling of data cable and a knocking aside of ceiling panels. I try to find my voice. Who is it? It's the Chad Squad. Jack, are you done in there? We seriously need you. Trouble. August 12th, 01740 PDT 2008. Good morning. It's a brand new day, and already the trouble center is teetering on the edge of the following gaping chasm of trouble. The spam has sidestepped our Maginot line, jumping the firewall in Shenzhou instead, and is pouring in through the VPN, choking us. Ours is the last stable electric grid in America. Rampaging fuckers of everything are apparently less rumored and more actual than initially estimated. Rampaging and fucking nationwide, transcontinentally, and even in Europe, according to NetTop's Grunt 2, who has cleverly jury-rigged an API satellite newsfeed to a small barricaded zone under his desk, where he has hoarded supplies, and which he refuses to leave. The Army and the National Guard and the INS are incommunicado, missing, presumed fucked. The Air Force is in midair and intends to stay there. The President is underground. Homeland Security has fled. Also, Phil Tong has a gun. He has Greg Lotz in a half Nelson, and he wants us to stop the internet. Not just our small fragment of the internet, but the whole worldwide shebang, for reasons that he can't articulate. Grunt 1 asked him to file a ticket, and he is now bleeding from a hole in his neck. And me? I cannot deal. I cannot deal at all. Impossible. Hell is tumbling down on me from all sides. Chad W and Chad D look at me with infinite reserves of tiredness in their eyes, waiting for me to finish crying. I want my figurines. I want my Angela. If I found her, we ran away together. Would it matter? Have the RFEs already gotten her? What can we do? Chad and Greg and I about trouble on this level. Does anything in the trouble center matter really compared to the last half hour? Blood drips down my pant leg. Guys, I'm injured. I need Chad and short guys, both look at me out of the depths of their ongoing shock, wincing for the next impact. Chad Wankel's twitchy eye twitches, and Chad Day rubs his mustache. How can I ever explain? How much trouble can we take? We are such a shambles. Our department of IT professionals. Such a ridiculous cast of misfits we are in all ways but one. I don't know what else to do. I really don't. Chad and wait, needing to act, needing to fix, needing to support the IT mission on its purpose. It is our purpose. It is all we know. So I send them to yank all the watt slaps, to take us offline. Then I enter the trouble center cockless, alone. Tuesday, August 12th, 02311 PDT 2008. Something's wrong with Phil Tong. He's sitting upon Greg Lots on the institutional gray carpet in the center of the trouble center, under the sodium vapor emergency backup lights. His skin is blue and corpse-like. His breathing is shallow. Something is causing him pain. He's curled up in a ball, clutching his belly, pointing his gun at Greg, then at me, then at Greg. A portrait of stillness and fear still manages in a single glance to communicate all of mid-upper management's anxieties. "Shut it down," roars Phil. "Cut it off. It's got to die." I scavenge deep through my soul for a kind, understanding tone of voice to use with Phil Tong. "Phil, listen," I finally say. "Please, there's things we can do and things we can't." "Don't tell me what you don't know, Jack." "Ha, I've been watching you." "What have you been watching me do, Phil? Tighten D-links?" Phil is momentarily confused. "No, the treatment," he says, leveling a finger at me. "The cure." His eyes quiver with madness and pain. He's not. He must. It's hellfire. The devil's on the network, Jack. He's uploaded me, and he's uploaded you, and he's coming out. He's coming out. Oh, yes. The internet is a vein of contagion. I don't disagree with you, Phil, but the verb to upload, good and evil, Jack, not ones and zeros, evil. Listen, Phil, the internet is literally millions of miles of fiber optics and copper cable. Maggots, worms, demons. Millions of routers and millions of places around the world. We can't just switch it off for you like a desk lamp. It's a system with procedures and administrators, IT professionals. He snorts in utter contempt. Are working night and day right now to solve this. Things are gonna get better, Phil. This is all gonna pass in a few days. Phil Tong gives me a "you're such an idiot" expression so heartfelt it's almost touching. He looks at the back of Greg Lott's whimpering head, looks at his gun, and kneels on Greg's back in a humble prayer, whispering the words under his hitching shallow breath. He's blue as a vein, bleeding. "Okay, Phil, the cure, yes, bad, very bad. I know that now. I'm not stupid. He's gotten to thy will be done, but I don't see what that's got to do with the network. He's on the daily bread, the trespasses. What do you know that I don't know, Phil?" "Phil, received the delivery, entered the kingdom." "Phil, tell me what you know, Phil." The power, the glory forever, amen. And the brains of Phil Tong rain down on us like tickets. Tuesday, August 12th, 02923 PDT 2008. I stagger out the back door of the trouble as the cops and guards and mid-upper management pour in the front. No more trouble, please. I'm done. I just want some Diet Fresca. I stumble through the emergency lit hallways to the drink snack shuffleboard court, but the Fresca machine is down. So I run off towards the wiring closet to grab a spare 50-foot power cord so I can bring up the Fresca machine on redundant power, because that I know will work, and I need to fix something very badly right now. Passing a window, I look out onto the International Sportswear campus and see a field of red and white and blue spinning lights. A rising tide of cops is licking the shoreline of International Sportswear, searching for their fallen brother. And I hear things in the ceiling. Oh God, I do. I grab the cord and a few more cable ties. I take the long way back through information receiving, through marketing, weightlifting, down the stairs, past the conference gym, up the stairs, past the padded offices of mid-upper management. around through payroll and back to the drink, snack, shuffleboard court, and I listen. Things are definitely in the ceiling. Big things. I run down the hall to the nearest wiring closet and find some redundant power in the very last redundant power jack, and run it back and climb under the Fresca machine to find a sticky, sugary mess and a total, utter failure of cable management. The minimum wage soda techs who drive around servicing these machines are always watching the clock and just don't give a damn. I unknot and untwist and unplug all the cords from one sticky power strip and try each of them one at a time in my live cable until I see the backlit plastic close-up of Fresca bubbles blink to life. I fill my cup with ice and Diet Fresca and sip it, listening to the ceiling things. Everybody has a drug. Mine is Diet Fresca, and porn too, I suppose, but mostly Diet Fresca. It keeps me steady, helps me think. It's all I have at this sad, mad moment. I am detailed-oriented. The whole forest is cracking with hellfire, but if I can focus on this tree, I might survive. The ceiling things are restless. They are coming and going, wandering around, exploring, searching. Downstairs, expensive panes of corporate glass shatter dramatically. Cop radios cackle with nervous cop talk. I really don't think this is a good time for me to talk to them. I need to disappear. Tuesday, August 12th, 04128 PDT 2008. On my way to the offline backup storage vault, I run straight into Angela Fine, who sees me and screams, "Angela, hey, shh!" Angela is panting, staring, a terrified trapped thing. She is wearing a bathrobe and an oversized men's leather jacket, the sort of thing Rock would wear. She's clutching it tightly around her and stroking the leather lapel with long, slender fingers of one hand. Her hair is messy, but it smells like summer, and there is nobody I could ever be more happy to see. I grab her and hold her and show her I'm friendly. Downstairs and far away, the police announce through megaphones, "We are the police." "Jack." Angela stands perfectly shocked still, rigid and trembling, with a painful, worried smile on her beautiful, round face. I step back. "Angela, wow, hi, it's funny you're here." Her beautiful brown eyes stare unblinking into mine. "Jack, what's that on you?" "Oh, gee, brains, I think. Phil tongs. Sorry." She whimpers and stares. Downstairs and far away, the police blare, "Come out now." "Angela, can I get you a Fresca?" Her voice is a quiet, desperate squeak. "Please don't kill me, Jack." Oh no, this is completely backwards. "Angela, no. No way I would ever do that." "Okay, sorry." She's frozen like a deer in headlights. "No, really, you have to believe me. I didn't kill that guy. Your boyfriend, whoever, it wasn't me." "Okay, I believe you. Just don't kill me." She sobs, terrified and sad. "I've been worried, actually, about you with all the stuff happening. Angela, what are you even doing here?" Downstairs and far away, the police yell, "We are coming in." "They brought me here," she says, nodding toward the loud stairwell. "They want me to talk to you, actually." She breathes in a deep breath of air, shakes her beautiful head, exhaled sweet perfume. "I don't really know why they brought me. I don't think they know what they're doing. They're just running all around acting like cops. They're scared. They're losing. They say you raped all those people, and..." Downstairs and far away, the police yell, "This is your last chance." "Angela, please, please, please don't be afraid of me. I'm a really, really nice guy. I don't rape people. I don't even hit people. I'm not big and I'm not muscular, and I don't have a big Camaro, but I'm nice and I'm gentle and I'm incredibly sensitive and a keen observer, and I like you. I've always liked you. I like you too, Jack. Please don't kill me. This is totally wrong, so sad and wrong and awful. Angela, hello, are you hearing any of this? Don't be afraid. Look, I wanted to show you Oh, Angela. Police. If you don't come out, we're coming in. This is your last and final chance. Angela, I've got something really important to tell you. Sure, Jack, whatever you say, just... If Angela had said, just please don't kill me, I would have continued to not kill her and to instead reassure her and be nice to her, and maybe eventually she would have begun to believe me, and then maybe we could have moved from that topic to other related things we both like, things we could go do together sometime, if things were ever normal again. Or we could have just kept on talking, which would have been enough for all eternity, just to talk with Angela Fine. If Angela had said, just hold me, I would have held her tightly in my arms forever with all my strength enveloping her in everything good that I am. And maybe she would have felt the warmth of my heart and the pure love radiating from it and believed me. If Angela had said, just come downstairs and talk to the policeman, I would have done that for her. Sure. And who knows what might have happened next with the world crashing, dumping core going up in a rampaging fucking smoke all around us. But at least she would have seen that I was trying, and maybe eventually she would have an opportunity to look into my heart and believe me. But if Angela had said, just please don't let a 20-foot long monster cock suddenly reach down from the ceiling and scoop me up in its sick, bulging skin and yank me screaming into the crawl space, then I would have had to disappoint her, because it got me too. Date, command not found. It's dark, I can't breathe. I am dragged, scraped, crushed, sliced, raked through metal and wire and fiberglass and dust and heat and cold and darkness. I pass out, I wake up, I scream, I pass out again. I come to on a floor somewhere. A floor with scorching hot underfloor forced air blowing in my face, to cracking static and deep angry pounding. Tongues of flame rise from the corners of the room. Smoke obscures the ceiling. Some living, writhing thing is climbing all over me. Snakes. The foot is carpeted with snakes. I scramble to my knees, but I mustn't stand up. It's a fire. A fire in Ice Station Zebra with snakes. But where's Angela? I hear her gasping, weeping. I see her. She's held face down on the floor by writhing, squirming cables. Power cables, data cables, fiber, copper, wriggling together in seething mass, binding her, crawling all over her, plucking at her robe and jacket. Tongues of uncoiled backup tape unwind from the gaping maw of the tape backup jukebox and lick between her legs. She screams. Beside her, in the center of the room, rises a thick undulating tower of meat where Wad Slap Interchange 01 is supposed to be, or rather coiled around the rack formerly known as the Wad Slap Interchange 01 is an unspeakably large, long, thick, and terrifying three-eyed devil penis, slamming its head against the top of the rack over and over. My penis, my little monster. Lassie, what are you doing? The pounding stops. The monster cock stretches towards me, nudges me playfully with a scarred black-blue head, a head larger than my own. It licks my cheek with its long silver tongue and stares at me with sad white eyes. Lassie, what are you doing? Lassie unwinds himself from the Wad Slap Interchange 01, and the snakes on the floor clear a path for me. I step towards the rack to inspect its status. On the front side of the rack, I see that Chad and Chad did everything I asked them. They pulled the data, the power, the flashcards, and the hot swappable drive from every WAD slap, severing all our internet links 4 different ways. The demon cables stab and poke, jacking and unjacking the open ports of the dead units, but the non-volatile boot media is nowhere evident. These links will stay down. On the backside of the rack I see Chad and Chad, recognizable blue-black pulp of limbs, hair, blood, and company t-shirt jammed into the 9-inch slot between the WAD slap and the power conditioner. Crumpled, swollen, bloody, nailed fingers jut out in all directions. I can't deal. Oh God. Lassie taps me on the shoulder, and then he rubs the side of his head softly against Angela's thigh as she screams and struggles and the cables grip her tighter. What's that, Lassie? You mean you want me to reconnect the internet and then we'll rape Angela fine together? Lassie nods and wags his massive testicles enthusiastically, slapping them hard against the side of another nearby rack, knocking it sideways, shaking down charred panels from the ceiling. I did this. I did it with my new penis. Oh God, it's me. It's my own flesh, my own cancer. Oh, Lassie. Lassie. Oh God, Lassie. Why can't you be a good penis? Lassie nods and wags and nods. The cables on the floor are watching us curiously. You're not a bad penis, are you? Lassie shakes his head vehemently. No. Lassie, listen to me. Raping and killing, that's not nice. Those are bad things. Lassie's tail stops wagging. Lassie, you're a good penis, but you've got to stop this. Stop killing, Lassie. Lassie shakes his head no, and all the snakes on the floor shake their heads no. Lassie. Lassie shoves me up against the WAD slap rack and bangs furiously against the side. No, Lassie, I won't do it. It's wrong. Lassie stares at me with his 3 eyes and then cudgels me in the ribs. I spit Fresca and tumble across the floor. The serpent rises above me like a fist as blue and pink Cat 5 cables seize my wrist and ankles, strapping them down. Pink saliva bubbles from the monster's head and drips down my shin, sizzling, smoking, burning. The giant penis coils back to strike. And then the charred, smoldering giant penis of Phil Tong falls out of the ceiling on top of it. The 2 monster penises wrestle and strike and bite and punch one another, knocking over the telco rack and the backup tower and the application server. Chairs and tables and bits of machine skitter and crash across the room. The snakes hiss and clutch and dart around the room. They release us to wrap around Phil Tong's unholy soot-smeared penis, which has not 3 eyes but 4, and which is much, much bigger than mine. Angela and I crawl out of the door as the 2 vast muscular coils of evil meat tumble and pound and mutilate each other, knocking apart the data center, and even now growing larger. We scramble on our hands and knees past payroll, the smoke just a foot above us. As the building shakes and the windows shatter, we tumble down the stairs and scramble across the broken glass of the Hall of Sports Heroes as deep serpentine screeching fills the air. We run out into the lawn. The rampaged bodies of fucked policemen litter the landscape. Something explodes. We keep running towards the empty cop cars in the field of dreams and parking. Shrapnel of office equipment smashes down like comets. A spinning executive desk falls through the sky and shatters into sawdust on the ground in front of us. Angela is nearly crushed by a photocopier. A flaming shoe worn by Jesse Owens during his heroic sweep of the track and field events at the 1939 Berlin Olympics smacks me in the head. We keep running. The nearest squad car is still idling with its doors open. I don't actually have a driver's license, but I'm very good with machines. We slam the doors and start moving, oh so slowly, out onto campus and towards Victory, to the interstate, west to the coast, to the ocean, somewhere. There must be somewhere we can go. At least we're together. Angela curled in a weeping ball in the back seat, and me, the new me, what's left of him. In my rear view mirror, I still see them, the two bloody monsters, larger than buildings, longer than highways, thicker than mountains, rolling and crushing and fighting and biting, rampaging and fucking over the entire earth. Sunday, January 1st, 060606, XST 2013. There really was a time before the worms. I remember, back in that time, almost everybody lived on land, and there were millions of people back then, billions of us. And land was beautiful and full of life before the worms came. People ate all kinds of food and did all kinds of things and had everything on land. But now there is only the sea and the worms with their teeth and the giant brutal holes they bore into the earth and the ooze that pours out and us, just the last precious few of us, the boat people hanging on out here on the stinking brown sea, scraping out a living on the shitting planet of the rampaging fuckers of everything. We hunt the worms, we eat the worms, and the worms hunt and eat us. Call me Ishmael. The end.
Okay, so as soon as you can get up, bring up that line. And I can get the USB microphone. No, not at all. This is probably a good thing for me to figure out because this does give me the ability to do this in the future. If this is something that is necessary, in all honesty, could be a good thing for me to be able to do. And this is saying anything at a volume that is reasonable.
Here's the weird thing. I'm not famous. Like, I don't have a following, but when I do podcasts, like Adrian and Leo told me they had like a bump in numbers. I think if we just don't talk about the eye patch at all, and like you put it in the thumbnail that I'm in the eye patch, people are gonna listen.
Yeah, just like what's up with this eye patch?
Yeah, because it's only gonna be on for like a short time.
Hell yeah, I like that.
So yeah, there you go. You can like hook a little bit of fucking cheese in the trap.
Plug the eye patch.
That's how the Jew brain works. It's always on.
Hell yeah, I like that. Alright.
Audacity is the free audio
I don't know if he's recording or not. I can tell you about a heckler that I ruined at the cabin.
I did hear a bit about that.
Yeah. Oh, fun little psychology.
Yeah, twist them all against her.
Mm-hmm. It's, yeah, because at the beginning when you all clap 3 times, it sort of hypnotizes them. So now they think they're all one group, so they feel attacked. Rip them out.
Hell yeah. Alright, well I am recording a little bit on my phone, so
Nice.
how you feeling, Rob?
You want to say hi?
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, it's no more Peppa Pig. You Daddy, I want Peppa Pig, please.
Okay, Peppa Pig.